Ben Madden. I am a director at Fine & Country. My sort of core area of, expertise, or what I look after at the moment, is around strategy, innovation and team. So team being sort of recruitment, retention, coaching, training, that sort of stuff. We're based in West London, but we have territories in across West London, South West London, and sort of North Surrey, I suppose. Almost 20 years. Before that, a few bits and pieces sort of meddled around. Hard to tell that I could possibly be at 20 years, such a young face, obviously. But yeah, so of that 20 years, I was in employment with a sort of mini corporate for about a year or two. Then I went to a strong independent for a couple of years, and then set up my own business. So I've been in business ownership in the estate agency for about 15 years. The control it gives you, it's one of those industries where I believe the more you put in, the more you get out. There's huge opportunities to be wildly successful if you're into helping people, which lots of agents say they are. I'm not sure that's necessarily true, but if you are, you've got that opportunity. From a financial perspective, there's lots of opportunity. And I think it's an industry where it's yet to move forward like so many other industries have, in terms of what great service looks like, what great tech looks like, what great innovation looks like. So that's quite exciting from me personally, that there's space at the top for something quite special. GetAgent, we've been using in that business probably for 5 or 6 years, and it was a good lead source for us. I guess the reservations would have been, we were a market leader at the time, and so we had from a sales perspective, we had a 30% market share in our core area. So do we need another business funneling opportunities towards us, or will they organically find their way to us? So there was maybe some reservations around that. Do we need the service? Do we need to, in essence, reduce our fee to give a cut to an introducer? But looking back on it anecdotally, the team never had any complaints about GetAgent presenting opportunities, so it couldn't have been an issue. So I guess the main issue, or the main difficulty I have with estate agency and being an estate agent, is that we're all sort of typecast. The consumer has this sentiment piece about what we are and who we are and how we behave. Because of that, trust is absolutely on the floor, and we're regarded as a bit of a commodity. So it can be difficult for agents, certainly in some areas, to justify an appropriate fee, which allows them to deliver a great service. So it's a perpetual cycle. If you can't get a great fee, it's very difficult to deliver a great service. And so if you can't deliver a great service, you're only fueling the negativity. What that means for us on the ground is that sometimes achieving inbound leads can be difficult. The consumer doesn't want to make an inquiry with a business because they've got this perception around what it might be or how they may behave. So that in itself is an issue for me, and it's something I think we can all address as agents, and we can improve and we can work on. But that's my overarching issue I have, the sentiment piece, which is tied to service, which is also tied to fee. Those three for me make up a triangle of major issues that need to be addressed. So I guess GetAgent to an extent solves the issue in that it's a buffer, if you like, between the consumer and us. And so if the consumer doesn't necessarily trust the agent, what they're looking for is a third party to tell them who they should trust. So their view may be that GetAgent is an introducer, and GetAgent has nothing more in its business strategy other than to introduce them to the best agent to service their needs. So that creates maybe a layer of trust for us. Putting it together, I've never had that conversation with a consumer. I've never said to them, they've introduced via GetAgent, why did you select us? We generally know why they've selected us, because of the quality of the people, the quality of the brand, quality of our results. But I think GetAgent provides a little bit like a review service might provide some social proof. GetAgent, I think, falls into that category. What's attractive about a business that provides you with leads? The leads. So as a business, in all our businesses, we want to continue to grow. We want to expand organically, sensibly. We look at all our lead sources based on return on investment. And GetAgent, there's no fixed cost. It's if we get a result, then there's an exchange of fee. But other than that, there's not a lot of downside from our perspective in the models of operation or areas of operation where we've been. I know for a fact that the instructions and the sales that we've generated off the back of working with GetAgent have absolutely contributed to the business we do in the future, because we've now got further social proof. I would recommend it to agents that are looking to increase market share, who want to grow, who want to maybe outperform their neighbours, who have good results. GetAgent isn't for underperforming agents. So if you do a great job, then I think GetAgent can draw more business towards you. We probably took GetAgent for granted, actually, in our past life, because we had such market dominance, if you like. Whereas now, in our current position, where we are still feel like we're a business in our infancy, GetAgent, specifically in the last year, has become an actual genuine lead source that we discuss. Whereas prior to that, we weren't getting a lot. And I appreciate that's about, we've got to prove ourselves, we've got to create social proof, we've got to do business in the area. So back then, maybe some complacency. Right now, we see it as a really valuable tool. How would I describe GetAgent in one word? I guess helpful right now is the way to go. Valuable, maybe, if I was using two words for us right now. They're the two I'm sort of landing on. They both make sense to me.